welcome to a very special episode of Black Atlas. Today we have one of Fairfield's up-and-coming OGs, I should say, because we're still...
OGs?
Well, because, you know, we're still young.
Is that up-and-coming? People can be that?
Well, because we're young. When I think of OGs, I think of, like,
I get what you're saying.
People like in their 40s or something.
Yeah, you know, been on the street. And, slinging
been
dope.
around.
Slinging.
For the record,
Slinging that dope.
TZ does not sell dope.
No.
No. Don't come for me from your dope.
Anyways, it's been a very long time. I keep leaning in on this, like the camera.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't heard Teasy in a minute.
Oh,
really? It's been a minute.
Damn, bro, we've been
I
calling you.
I had to bring it back.
That was all teasy, man.
I know, it was just natural. It just flew off the tongue.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
Well, we got him here, founder of Tsunami Slay.
Yeah, Tsunami Slay.
We need like a...
you guys did one of them buttons, bro. The little remotes.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, which I'm pretty sure everybody in fucking Fairfield knows at this point. So, it's been a really long time coming, and he's been kind of low key lately. But it's not to say that I'm sure you haven't. You've definitely been working on some things, right? We can expect something soon, maybe, or
definitely
down the line
within the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay, nice.
All right. That sounds good.
So Tsunami Slay is not just like it's not just a clothing company.
No.
It's just like, what would you call it then? It's like a company,
I would call it, first thing first is a movement.
Amazing.
See, that's hard because people ask us all the time, like, what Black Atlas is. I'm like, that's the hardest fucking question.
Yeah, it's hard to put things in a box.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so
but I would say first it's a movement, and then, you know, within a community of people, then it builds into, you know, a company.
Right.
I would say the company is based on the community of people that believe in, like, the Are You Tsunami movement.
I feel it. Yeah. We had Vonna B here. I know she's one of your...
Oh, yeah.
Is it like a label sign, or is it like we're a sponsor?
It's more of a sponsorship.
Okay, that's cool.
right, okay.
Yeah.
How did that, how did that deal come about? Were you guys, like, friends before, or?
Yeah, you know, well, you guys were there at the first Tsunami Slay shoot.
Oh,
yeah.
Throwback. I need to find the picture.
You want to throw it on there, bro?
Oh, God. I'll send it to y'all.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, the first, I think that was like, I knew her since school, but I really didn't, like, know her like that.
Right.
But after having communication with her, you know, and listening to our music, I wanted to send her, well, she actually contacted me, and she was like, would you guys be interested in sponsoring me? So I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I've been there from the beginning.
So, as a sponsor, what does that all entail on your side of it? Like, what do you bring for an artist then?
On our end, right now, I mean, I want to get into more later, which is I'll kind of circle back to that later.
Right.
But right now, it's just manufacturing. You know, she doesn't have to do anything as far as her merch.
Okay.
And then also giving her own apparel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. Get somebody's merch out there.
Yeah, so if you couldn't tell from the beginning, because we kind of just like went straight into it, but we've known each other for a while. We've all been around since
middle school.
Since,
actually, I knew station on Laurel Creek.
Oh, that's crazy.
I went there.
Oh, yeah.
You guys remember when we were looking through the fucking yearbook though, and like we went to like first grade, and then
I remember that.
was at 8th grade. I was like, what the fuck?
I did not remember you.
I was like, what? How you not remember? You went to the same school. That tripped me out. Anyways, the point I was trying to get to that was, at what point, but as long as we've known you, let's say like 7th grade up until like graduation or after high school, what was the point that you started the creation process of Tsunami Slay? Like, when did you like start, like, even like maybe not like actually putting it into motion, but like just the idea of it, you know?
The idea came about like 3 months after I graduated high school.
Okay.
So
was there something that kind of like initiated that, or was that just like?
Yeah, it was it started with a conversation with my dad. So after 3 months of graduation, I started working at Panda Express.
Right.
And I was working there for about 3 months, and then I got a fungus infection on my hands.
Oh.
And I had to quit.
Panda, bro.
Yeah.
I told you. Panda, that nasty shit, bro.
Hey man, sometimes it'd be on smack.
I don't know about it after that, but so I left, and then so I had a bunch of money saved up, and my dad, he gave me the idea. He was like, you should start your own company, and you know, I never really thought about it, but I was like, okay, let me try it out.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky to think about
because I was so young. I was 17. I'm like, I don't know nothing about business. But yeah, I tried it out, and then, I came up with the whole concept of the clothing company because I had this whole idea of like the world and like the whole tsunami, but I never really put it into like out there into like an actual name and thing. But this is a whole concept I always believed in, and then so. 3 months down after high school, I got the domain name. I bought a bunch of equipment because I was manufacturing the clothing myself in the garage.
Yeah, that's how it starts, man.
Yeah, and then I went from that to then the first photo shoot, and then telling people about the concept, and that's kind of how it started.
So what was your first step in like getting your name out there other than like social media? Is there anything else that you kind of marketed yourself as or like to be or like anything? Like how's marketing being at the beginning of that?
Starting out, honestly, I didn't know too much.
Right, that's fair, bro.
Yeah, I know a lot now, but
when I just started.
I mean, after we get done, I can tell you some stuff.
For sure. Yeah. Gotta turn the cameras off for that one.
Yeah, I charge for that.
You got it.
Yeah, but what was the question?
How do you market yourself?
Oh yeah, with the whole marketing, it started off with just letting people know, like people in my circle that I had contact with. I let them know what it was about, and then it kind of organically went from there because people liked it.
Yeah. There was a good following behind that.
You do got a good following on that. That's dope as hell.
A lot of people from Fairfield, that's why I mentioned earlier, if you don't know, because it was like a real life movement. Like, what was it, 2016, 2015?
Started in 2015.
2015.
Yeah, and then I remember I went on social media and I was like, if you believe in the movement, put it in your bio. And everybody had it in their bio.
The hashtag Tsunami is everywhere.
That was a real life wave.
Man, keep the wave going though. So now, when you're just kind of grinding stuff out and kind of in this a little bit of a low key thing, what do you do to keep yourself motivated, like to keep going with it?
Definitely, I have to always read. I think reading.
Okay.
Because the more I read, the more I get inspired by other people, whether it's their past and like seeing like where they came from. And because I think sometimes like when you see a movement or anything, just a company in general, y'all probably see this too. It's like trying to get to the next step.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, man, I've been at this level for so much. Like, how can I get to the next step? And that's kind of what I do. Is like I always make sure to look at other people's stories and I use that as inspiration.
I feel it, bro. I kind of be doing the same thing, honestly. I look at a lot of shit that like
production wise, I look at.
Yeah, I look at things that like videos that like I watch that I think are interesting and shit, and I'm like, how can I like try to incorporate it into my shit, but still like have it be original. Yeah. But the thing is like it's so hard to have that balance because you still want people to fuck with it, but no one's gonna like.
You don't want to be a biter on some shit.
Yeah, no one's gonna like. It's kind of reaching. If you're too far out there with your originality, people aren't really gonna. They're just gonna kind of pass it by. Cause, I mean, it's just that's just how normal shit is. You look at the radio and stuff. Like all the shit they're playing on the radios, like was most popular.
It all kind of sounds the same.
All the real shit is like you gotta go looking for and all that.
Yeah, you can't listen to the radio and enjoy some music.
No, of course not. I think people already know that at this point, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So. When it comes to the designs of the... Oh, actually, well, let me save that. So, I wanted to ask, though, that photo shoot that we went to in Vacaville, was that the very first?
Very first.
The very first? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, well, I'm glad to have been a part of that.
Hey, part of history, guys.
Fuck. It's crazy. We're going to look back on this shit like 10 years from now.
Man.
Let's make a time capsule.
There's going to be in the future, there's going to be a documentary. Fairfield
documentary. Fairfield's finest. All the crazy shit to come out of it.
We're going to be like on the wall at Vasquez in Vacaville. The history wall, just like us on there. Like,
that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
What was your other question?
Okay, so when it comes to the creative process with the designs, is that all you two, or do you kind of everything?
Yeah, I at one point I kind of wanted to think about hiring people for that.
Right.
But my whole thing was nobody can understand what's in my head.
Exactly, I feel it. Yeah, I feel the exact same way, except it's like the opposite with us because we don't really know how to do any of that extra shit. But I'm kind of just, we're kind of just like fiddling with everything right now, you know, seeing what works, what doesn't work, what people fuck with. Yeah.
You gotta keep going and experimenting with that.
Yeah, the more you test stuff out, you'll start to understand, you know, what works.
Right. God, fucking man. That damn dog. So, would you say that you have like an end goal or maybe like something you want to accomplish in mind when it comes?
I have my whole life mapped out to every single year.
What about like specific to Fairfield? Is there like something you want to accomplish like when it comes to, I don't want to say like necessarily like giving back, but like maybe just incorporating Fairfield somehow?
In that way, whenever it comes to like in the future, when it comes to when I see the company getting bigger and, you know, look for people, you know, talent wise and not even just, you know, employees, I'm always gonna have Fairfield as the first.
Of course.
Right. Yeah, like people that I know, people I grew up with, they're always gonna be first choice. Now, if you guys don't work for me, then I'll go get somebody else.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're the next person up at that point.
Yeah, Fairfield's like a melting pot, I feel like, of
everything.
It's like a whole lot of different, it's so diverse, which is good, but it's so hidden at the same time. I feel like as soon as people realize that, like, once we unify as a whole fucking city.
Unify.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I had a dream about this guy. It's like, I had an epiphany last night.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, though, it's true. If, like, everybody stops with all the, like, every man for themselves mindset and really just, like, okay, let's put all our heads together and, like, push everything as, like, one big-ass movement, then, like, what the fuck? We're just as big as Vallejo, you know? Like, it wouldn't be...
Vallejo's popping because they support each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's more than just support. I think it's more of just, like, us not trying to get beef with people. It's not supporting the next person. It's just, like, don't put someone else's shit down because
that too.
Like you,
of course,
you're doing the same thing, or you just don't like your shit. I guess you don't need to put someone down. You just like, I'm not feeling it or something.
The way I see it is like, you know, our city. I think people try to compete with our city because they want to be the man of the city.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is people got to think of, you know, the whole world is like it's Fairfield against the world instead of it being like. Like who's the top in Fairfield? Then I'm gonna compete against the world.
Yeah. Because there's so much talent out here. There really is. If people were to actually like put this group of people together with like someone who like, if there was like a rapper who I knew that like didn't know this producer but like was really fucking good and like I feel like they would work together. Like you get what I'm saying? Like everybody should just like cohesively like push their shit.
Right.
And I get what you're saying. Like don't put people down, but like I mean. It takes like half a second to retweet some shit, you know, like to like.
That's free.
Like,
I'm like, come on,
retweet. Come on now, we're all trying to. We have the same goal in mind, you know. We're all trying to make it.
So let's go back to clothes here. Was there a brand or anything you like? I know you say it came from you, but like, what like clothing brands did you go out and look at? Like, I know it's like, did you want to be like kind of like a streetwear brand, like
definitely streetwear.
Like definitely streetwear, like I'm not saying like Supreme, but
not
like hypebeast, but like you like what's basic place to go, like Zoomies or some shit.
Yeah, I think definitely I've had sort of a Pink Dolphin influence.
Oh, okay, yeah, Pink Dolphin's cool as shit.
Yeah, I think just naturally it's just because I think was it senior year? It was probably the hottest around here.
Yeah, they were popping senior year.
Yeah, I know this song. A couple of like big ass bright hoodies around campus.
Man.
Which is fucking crazy because I swear to God, freshmen and maybe just freshman year. I kind of remember sophomore year, but that was like the year of the Hollister versus.
I remember
that. Apostle beef.
Man, that's like, hey, Holly King.
Shout out to.
That's your rank.
They're all now third lot. Shout out to third lot.
Yeah, I forgot.
Nah, they Holly Gang.
They're Holly
Gang from day one. You know?
Oh my God.
That shit, it's crazy, but like it's crazy to think about like how fast like trends like switch up like that. You know, that was real life. Like
remember
everybody.
the colorful skinny jeans,
bro. I had like 6. My classic red ones, bro. Them shits were popping.
They had the belt with all the fucking
all the
black
colors
and white.
Oh my god, bro.
You know what I'm talking about?
The metal with all the colors, and then you had to rock the ones with them. You can't rock any other shoe. You had to look like you were in that fucking jerking video of New Boys. That's it.
New Boys really changed the game. Middle school, they changed the game.
So, in eras and things, what would you do to keep yourself what would you do to keep yourself relevant in this? Like, I know you have to adapt, but is there anything more to it than that?
I think when it comes to marketing, you want to build. When I say it's gonna sound weird, just starting out, but you want to build sort of a cult.
And that makes sense. You want to have a cult following.
Yeah. When you build a cult, it's like, and it has a negative connotation to it. But when you build a cult, the people will always be there. Like same thing with Nike. Nike has a cult following.
Yes.
Like people really will say, "I will buy Nike and not buy anything else."
Like iPhones and shit like that.
Yeah, same thing with Apple. Yeah. That's kind of what you want to have when it comes to marketing. So, that's kind of like the thing that I always focus on to stay relevant. Is like focus on the people, not the product. Because when you focus on the people,
your product will sell regardless. Okay.
It's all about the consumer.
Yeah.
Is it a consumer's market, Taejon?
Is
it a consumer's market?
I would say sort of.
How are you gonna what if people you say, nah, I'm selling my shit now. Each shirt's $80.
I don't know. That's kind of reaching. That's reaching kind of far.
Nike. Nike would do that shit.
I've had this.
Those compression shirts, it was 60. Niggas would be.
I've kind of had this conversation with myself, kind of do I want to price it high later on? But my whole thing is I think the concept I shouldn't. This is the first time I'm really saying it to anybody, which I'll say on here. But
exclusive sneak preview.
Yeah. But I plan on. I think I'm gonna have it around all my stuff go up a little bit. But then have exclusive for the people that really support, and that'll be 50% off. And you can, I think that'll be the whole marketing plan from now. It's try to get people, if you really want this, it's an application process. But once you get in, you get 50% off for life.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
amazing. I'll definitely get a cult following. You get some shit free, half off. Not free, half off.
So how do you actually determine the pricing when it comes to your articles of clothing? Is it kind of just
It started with trial and error.
Okay.
Trying to see if I market at this, does it sell better? Then
niggas be broke.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a trial and error.
But it costs. The thing is, people don't realize there's a cost behind
making the clothes. You're not just making money.
Yeah.
Just
like when you see stuff in stores that's on sale. They've sold when you see some of the Zoomies, Zoomies has bought 1 million shirts from them. So when you see a shirt for $10, it's okay, they already got their money, so they don't need the $10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel that because you always have to make sure you're getting some type of profit out of what you got already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. So.
Oh, I did want to speak on what you said earlier about the whole. You talking about mapping my life out.
Yeah. Of course.
I'll that out, but as far as Tsunami Slay, everybody knows the Virgin brand, right? Virgin Airlines, Virgin Mobile. That's kind of what I see for Tsunami Slay. It's they built this brand.
Global takeover.
Man.
They built, Virgin built this brand. Richard Branson, he's the CEO, and he created this brand where he just takes this whole. He has the cool image, really.
Yeah.
And he takes that cool image and applies it to every industry. And that's what I want to do with Tsunami Slay. Is that there's gonna be a Tsunami Slay ice cream shop.
Oh damn.
I feel it, bro. Because I remember hearing about that. I was I had only heard the phones, and then I was there's a fucking airline, and I was what? How do those two things?
Gaming, they got everything.
Yeah.
Anything you can think of.
Everything.
How do those even relate?
It's how much time? Because I'm pretty sure we're going to be out of that camera time, but I'm pretty sure we can just restart.
No, you're good. We have a minute left.
Okay.
You might as well just restart it now.
Okay. All right. Got you.
It's all. What would you say would be your dream collab? Even if it wasn't a clothing brand specifically, but just I guess any type of collab.
Dang, I never really thought about this because.
You want to focus on being original.
As of now, I haven't really put too much thought into that.
I understand that completely. I'm on that same wave right now.
Yeah. By the way, I do respect what y'all doing. Definitely.
Oh, thank you, bro.
man. Well,
It means a lot coming from the up and coming Fairfield OG.
The founder of everything.
Teasy. We're gonna have to bring that back.
Teasy?
Everybody.
I'm telling you,
Everybody's gonna call him
How would you not call him Teasy? He's Teasy. TKO.
I might start rapping again. You never know.
Hey,
There
man,
you go,
bring it back.
man.
You heard it here
Fuck
first, kids. Album dropping 2019.
Yeah, Tsunami Slay.
Tsunami Slay
There you
collaborative featuring Vonda B. Shout out to her.
Shouts to Vonna B, of course.
So, is
You
there
wanna hop on?
I'll hop on, bro. I'll hop on.
I'll throw in some. Yeah.
You can be on ad-libs, bro.
Yeah,
Just do the back.
So is there any other artists that you from around here you'd like to sign, or are you just more like getting out there more like than just around here for now?
Now I'm kind of just keeping my eye
Right.
just on what's going on, but I do want to see you create something as an artist. You know, create your own movement. Start out like it doesn't have to be big, but like at least like everybody in your city should know your song or play it.
Exactly. Right. You're Don Gino? Shout out to Don Gino.
Shout out to Don Gino.
Don Gino.
He needs to sign now. That shit is so fucking catchy. Anyway, that you going on topic.
I'm sorry. It's
We really been putting everybody on that Don Gino, though.
I've heard him. You gotta play the song with me.
Okay, that shit
okay.
This shit is catchy as fuck. That's damn near about to be like the new Red Nose or like or the
Red
fucking
Nose.
Slow Down.
Okay. Go ahead.
So what you were saying, or I think you said, I don't even fucking remember. Somebody mentioned it starts with your own city, you know, building that like following and stuff.
That was me.
What would you, I guess, I wouldn't say advice necessarily, but what would you say to someone like us who maybe like doesn't have the greatest following, but like it's because I feel like honestly, and I'm gonna say this now because I just want to fucking address the elephant in the room. I feel like a lot of people don't fuck with Black Atlas mainly because like it's me and like everybody
I don't feel
remembers
the same way.
because you're not me.
I know. But
Nobody.
no one's gonna like support.
Bro, people hold grudges though.
Like
man.
band.
I think sometimes.
Bro, because you think about it. All right, we graduated 2015.
Right.
We've been doing this for like a year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that 1 year, people are gonna remember. Like that shit was not that long ago, and that boy Michael is definitely wilding out
That could happen, yeah,
on
that could
Twitter or like.
What was the advice you give to some people that's starting out?
Okay, first, take care of the city. But like you have a great formula. Like your formula is getting that talent in the city and bringing them on here, and you becoming a medium.
Yeah, like a platform.
Yeah. You become a platform, and then as you have your platform, the bigger like each person that you have on your show is gonna like my following. Once you put this online, my following will understand who Black Atlas is. And the more shows you do, it's really just quantity.
Right.
With you, it'll be more of just how many episodes can I put out? Like most of these YouTubers, like Gary Vee.
No.
Okay, he's an entrepreneur that he kind of goes on YouTube and gives around content, but he puts out a video every single day.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that for years, and that's how he's grinded and got his following.
So my question with that whole thing is, at what point where do you draw the line of like people coming on the channel to watch the people that are like are guest stars, or are they like coming on to watch us? And that's where I feel like we struggle between because I want it to be at a good level. I mean, of course, we're not anything without the audience. We have to have the people, the supporters, the people we have on our show. That's a big part of it. But I feel like at this point, it's like 100%, like 100% of it. And I want us to be like the other 50. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I want people to be like, oh, Black Atlas, those two dudes is funny as fuck. Like, I'm not just watching it because they're interviewing this dude I know. I'm watching it because they're interesting and funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it starts with, the content. Like, what I want you to do is, like, reverse engineer stuff that you watch on YouTube.
Okay.
Like, do you watch No Jumper?
Yeah.
How do you normally hear about No Jumper?
Adam 22, the guy who made it first.
Yeah, how do you normally hear about the shows?
What do you mean?
Like probably the artist
the artist that's on it.
Yeah, you usually know the artist and you see the video and you're like, oh, let me watch this interview.
I remember him. Yeah.
So and then you see the interview and you're like, oh, Adam 22 is a funny dude.
He's funny as fuck. Oh, yeah.
And then
you watch
like
the vlog channel.
Yeah, then
it's a whole setup.
Then he goes into
you gotta
like
create
all
a
this
vlog
content.
channel. See if people really fuck with
We
us.
should just do vlogs on our channel we have now.
It's hard.
Well, I mean,
I'm joking. Let's do it on this channel we have now.
I know it's hard, bro, but people are like rarely watching the shit we do now. Not to say like we don't appreciate the people who do. I mean, I'll be surprised when people actually like DM me like, "Yo, like, when's that next video coming up, man?" And I'm like,
cool.
like, I wasn't really tripping off it because I didn't think anybody cared. I'm just taking my time, like.
But what media, other than like YouTube and things, what media do you draw things from? Taejon, like, what do you see things on like TV and like, oh, that shit looks cool. Let me see how I can incorporate that into my own thing here.
Most of it is either reading or some of it's YouTube content or just usually I have people that I look up to and wherever I can get their brain, like wherever I can get what they're thinking about.
Right.
Like sometimes it's in book form, sometimes it's in YouTube form, sometimes it's in Instagram, but wherever I can get what's going on in their head, that's where I get most of my inspiration from. And then I take that and apply it to myself. Like there's so many things that I've seen, like for instance, the Virgin brand that I was talking about.
Right.
Like that, for instance, was me seeing that and hearing about the story and doing more research on that and saying, oh, okay, I can take Tsunami Slay in that direction. So that's one way.
This is good. It's always good to, I feel like, I'm constantly trying to have like inspiration from different things that I feel like I wouldn't really like draw inspiration from, if that makes sense. Like,
oh yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to.
Like random, normal, everyday shit. Like you might just be like chilling outside or something, and you like look out, and you're like, damn, that's a nice ass view. Like, I'm pretty blessed to be here right now because this is like some dope shit that like not a lot of people get to experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the key is to kind of go out and do different things. And
right.
Like I think when it comes to things that you want to do, you have to always experiment with the different things. And yeah, the more you do that, the more, I think Gary Vee was talking about this, is the more you go out and try things, because everybody here is young.
Right.
Most of us that graduated 2015, we're all young.
Yeah.
And
gang shit.
Yeah. 2015 best year. But
hey, fuck all y'all. What's one inspirational thing you can say to all the young entrepreneurs out there? What's your like, don't ever give up, kids. You can be as good as me.
Okay. I guess that was great the way you said it. I'm not gonna lie. So one thing I would say is that the best motivational piece I can probably give, it might be long. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Okay. Let me make sure that shit. This shit for that. Boop, boop. All right. Wait. There you go. You got it.
Okay, but first you have so much time. There's been people. If let's say your goal is $1 million, there's people that have created $1 million after 40 years old. If you're 20 years old, you have so many years to figure out what you want to do and figure out, what's the plan. But the goal is, first you have to create what's the end goal, and then you reverse engineer it into, okay, now if I want to get this in 5 years, first year I have to do this, second year I have to do this, third year I have to do this, and so on. And there's like, I think most people just get out and understand that, when it comes to like people, like there's people that's homeless and have turned into millionaires.
Exactly.
So it's like you already have a head start, and most people don't look at it that way. It's like when people are homeless and they become CEOs of companies, or when they become an artist or whatever you do, there's somebody who's been homeless and have gotten themselves to that situation. So you have a head start. You're young. You have all the time in the world. Invest your time wisely, invest your money wisely, and reinvest in yourself. That's the best advice I can give, is reinvest everything that you have into yourself.
That's some great advice that everybody should abide to, and don't be like me, because what I'm about to say is crazy, because like I'm like the exact opposite when it comes to like end goal wise. Like I literally like wake up and think of shit. Like I never plan like that far ahead.
Shit.
I try to keep, I don't do it on purpose, in a way I feel like it's good because like I mentioned earlier, I was like, being spontaneous I feel like kind of keeps things interesting, but it's also bad because, you know, I don't, like, have that fucking 10 years from now goal.
Yeah.
I'm just like, where do I want to be now? Like, at this moment.
You gotta have some goal.
Wait, let me give you some advice, though. It's first, figure out the end goal, and then you can be spontaneous from that.
Okay.
So that when you're being
I
spontaneous...
mean, I have an idea of an end goal, but I feel like depending on, you know, I never even thought of fucking clothes, and then I threw that picture up there, and everybody was like, bro, you should make some fucking clothes. And I'm like, well, shit. Like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. That's why
I believe in people. I hope our clothes fucking work, but that's only talk from now for people, and I don't trust people.
We'll see. Buy our clothes if they...
Buy our clothes when we come out. Buy Taejon's fucking clothes.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck am I talking about? He has an actual clothing brand.
Yeah, TsunamiSlay.com.
TsunamiSlay.com.
Check out the website.
Where else can they find you, Taejon?
Y'all can find me at Tsunami Slay Tay on Twitter, Instagram. That's basically all I use. I mean, not really on there anyway,
it's
but
okay.
still. And then you can find the company at Tsunami Slay on everything.
Buy everything.
Yeah. And if y'all need help on the clothing, I can help y'all out.
Sell this boy out.
Yeah.
Sell him out.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
That's just about
That's just about to die. Thank you guys.
Thanks for
Episode
watching.
30.
21.
I appreciate y'all.
Oh, shit.